Hey guys, and welcome back for another look at Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game. This one is an unboxing of the Knights of Casterly Rock. Now if you're finding this soon after the Kickstarter reveal, this might be a newish unit for you, or not reveal, delivery, because you've probably seen those guys before, Stark Outriders. Yeah, so let's see. Well, you can pause if you want to see this. It's 4 miniatures, 1 unit cart, 1 movement tray, same as the other cavalry box. Nothing of import here. Some nice artwork as always. So I'm curious to find out if I am if they can persuade me to paint these guys first over those guys, since these are the only 2 units I've received. You'll know why if you've seen the first video of the terrain unboxing. Anyway, so here we go, Lannisters. So I've followed along, I'd say, quite loyally since I ever heard about this. And mind you, I could be biased because I want to play Starks, but I am a game designer as my profession, and I do believe I can be objective. I would say across the board, I'm gonna be careful with my words here. Okay, no, let me just say it plainly, and then let me try and explain why. I think the Lannisters are better. Better is not the right word. They're certainly mind you, I haven't played it yet, but I've watched every single battle report there is and sort of studied the cards. I think they're just easier to get a win out of. I think it requires way more expertise to play the Starks. And I keep hearing the design intent is that the Starks are supposed to be very good in combat, and the Lannisters are supposed to use tricks, but I almost feel it's this other way around. I feel like you really have to be on top of your maneuver game to win as the Starks, whereas the basic characters with the political stuff are just stupid good as Lannisters. And on top of that, just the basic Lannister guardsmen, the Lannister supremacy is just, it just makes up for all of their quote unquote combat insufficiencies. They're definitely no slouches. I know they don't roll a lot of dice, but their defense is amazing. Their defense after their defense with the supremacy and stuff is amazing, and they cost the same as sworn swords. Mind you, I haven't played it myself yet, but we'll come back to this. I'm sure I'll get some flack in the comments for it, but that's how I feel right now, and I fully embrace that I could be wrong. Anyway, so let's look at it here. This is an 8-point unit, and for those that have been following along, this is a 7-point unit. We can look at, like, that's 1 point different. That's like adding a guard captain or an assault veteran or a swan sword captain or something. So 1 point is not a lot out of 40. Well, it is, but it's also not. Like, you can find a point. So let's see. Lance. I actually haven't studied this part yet, so we'll do that. So a 3+ save. I vaguely remember these starting out as a 2+ when they were first revealed. But I think this is a decent move to make them a 3+. Yeah. So anyway, lances, 3+. Okay. And cavalry, they still just have 3 wounds. Yeah. Okay, lance. When charging, this attack rolls +3 dice, not 3+, but +3 dice, and gains critical blow. Rolls of 6 equals 2 hits. And Sundering. Okay. So after the charge, or if they get charged, they just roll their normal stuff. Okay. And then they have their great, amazing ability, Lannister Supremacy, which I absolutely love the theme of this. This is not what I'm not complaining. I don't want it to seem like that, because I do love challenges and figuring out how to beat certain units. It's just, I have a feeling if I put two of my friends up against each other and I give them nothing but sworn swords and like guardsmen or things that have equal sort of things, no, not Umber Berserkers or anything like that, I think like 7 out of 10 times the Starks would just get absolutely annihilated. If it was the same level of IQ that played both sides, or like game sense, or whatever you call it. Again, it's just my hypothesis. I have nothing to have this in. Anyway, this is not supposed to be one of these videos. Shut up, for fuck's sakes, and get on with this. Okay, thank you. We'll compare this afterwards. We'll get the unboxing done for those who want to hear that. If you came here just for an unboxing, I'm really sorry. And I don't know what I labeled this as. I'm probably still going to label it as an unboxing, but really sorry. What I do look forward to is making some tactics videos and stuff when I do get some games under my belt and hopefully disprove what I just said. I would love to. Anyway, let's start from the back. I am genuinely excited too, because I haven't seen these up close or studied them. So here we have something that's harder to focus on, apparently. We definitely have a barded horse, some armor up front, full plate. Yeah. Shield, lance. Well, I guess it's more like a boar spear, because of the crossguard here, so you don't over-penetrate the boar. Well, I guess it would be the same for a human. That's interesting. Cape, everything. It's really nice. It's a bit of war pitch going on, but I know they made these out of hard plastic compared to, and you know what? I do not believe you can make them out of any material that's viable, that it won't bend even a little bit. This is easy to fix. I mean, I'm never going to complain about this, and they will be straight by the time they get painted up. All right, so we have one here with an open helmet. Bellowing orders. This is probably supposed to be the unit champion, even though this one doesn't have that. It's definitely charging. Well, it seems like the horse is more like casually strolling forward instead of in a gallop. But he's certainly ready. He's like, go faster. And the horse is like, I'll go my own pace, human. Shut up. There's a bit of disconnect between that, I'd say. But it's certainly within acceptable parameters for me, and a hell of a lot within it, to be honest. So what do we got here? Closed visor again. This is like a second rank one. Again, a little bit casual strolling, but it fits with the pose of the rider. And the Bannerman. See, this is odd. Like, compared to the start, why is there no spear tip on here? Like, I get this is a banner, but they could have kept him looking like he had a weapon by doing the same thing as the Starks. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Because when it's down to this guy, and it's always going to be this guy last, right? Unless there's a special character in there. Then it doesn't look like he can attack anything, because let's see. Oh, he does have a scabbard, and there is actually a sword in there. So I guess you would just imagine that he drops this and then swings his sword. I guess it's fine. I mean, since they have the lance ability and stuff, just having the lance tip on there would have been great. It's probably a production reason, like with the molds or something, but I mean, they managed to get it on that. It's cool. It's very cool. Yeah. So I think the unboxing is sort of over. Let me put them in the tray, and then I might actually waffle on a little bit since I already ruined this video. So let's put them in. Let's see. This guy would probably be up front since he has a charging kind of pose, and these are not identical. No? Nope. There we go. Something akin to this. I wonder. So I've had issues, well, not issues. I've had challenges in the past with pre-colored miniatures. They can be hard to paint over if you're doing it in a light color. So if I were to spray this white, they probably need a pretty thick coat. So I guess I am actually forced to spray these in a darker color, whereas the Starks I can go white for sure. I feel that's fine. I think I'm gonna save the painting talk to when I paint them, because I do have some ideas about that and a lot of things I want to talk about, but not for this. Okay, so let's. This is the only thing I have at the moment. Let's. If you want to carry on and listen to this stuff, let's compare these guys. Let's see what they offer for their points. So let's look at differences in raw stats, and then let's look at abilities. So raw stats, we have Starks coming out ahead with an extra inch. I believe it is an inch. Well, movement 6 anyway. And multiply that by 2 means really good things. They do have more base attack dice, but hitting only 50% of the time. They have decent attack dice even on their lowest rank. Same morale. It's good. So this is where I fully understand why the Knights of Casterly Rock are a 3+, but my brain really hates that they're not a 2+, because it would be one of those rollover newbies kind of units with a 2+, because there's no. So in other games, there's a lot of volume of dice that can beat 2+ saves on a d6, and you don't really have that in a, like, what's the most amount of dice you would have? It's like a berserker unit, and you can get one of the abilities when you roll a 6 is extra hits, and I mean, you can't really beat volume of dice, but I mean, there's so much difference in, like, they have barding and full plate compared to medium-ish armor and no barding, and yeah, they'd definitely be significantly more protected, and yeah, it's very hard to represent that on a d6. What I feel like they probably could have done to remedy that is, of course, they want to keep it consistent when they have an ability called Cavalry, because it's like not a copy paste. It's like a keyword, right? But in this, what they could have possibly done is call them medium cavalry and heavy cavalry, or something like that, and then have them have 4 wounds. I think that, of course you need to point adjust and all that stuff, but this is just my OCD / immersion / whatever coming into play, and my own game designer instincts. But I trust these guys way more than me. Like Eric Lang and Mike Shadal, they're amazing guys. I hope I can ever live up to that in my own career. Yeah. So anyway, let's look at abilities. So Cavalry, that's the same for both of them. Says Each model in the unit has 3 wounds. At the start of a unit's activation, it may make a free maneuver action. So right now they're just as fast, even though ish, except for the Starks being technically 2 inches faster, which can make a difference for sure in this sort of scale. Let's look at the Starks. Order swift retreat. After the unit is attacked with melee, or melee, whatever you want to call it, where you're from, this unit may make a free retreat action. I believe this is a late addition to them as well. Like, I studied these cards a lot before they sort of redid a lot of things in the game mechanically. That was back when you could still ban units, and I was very looking forward to that. But again, I understand why they didn't. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I know this is powerful. I'm not quite familiar with orders. I believe it's something like you can do it once per round. So basically you can trigger this again, I might be pulling this out of my ass because I don't have the rulebook in front of me or have played a game yet. But I believe they can basically, they have the opportunity to flee every time they're attacked each turn, is what this equates to. Of course, that's not true if they're attacked by 2 units, but something like it. So they can get in, attack. When they get the counter attack, they can just flee. And again, this is after. So they can keep like cycle charging. So this is really what this unit is about, cycle charging and keep being an issue, not grinding through a unit. It's like breaking a stalemate and then not sticking around to clean up, but getting ready to clean up another stalemate, or it's like tip the balance in another melee. Okay, so rapid assault, what does that say? If targeted by I believe that's called a movement icon, this unit may make a 3 charge action instead of a maneuver retreat action. So this is on the tactics board. So getting a free charge, I mean, the theme of these is becoming quite obvious. These are problem solvers. I have a problem over here, turn it in my favor. Which is good, as long as you understand that's their role. Because 7 points is not far off of 8. I feel like, without having read it, let's look at this afterwards. I feel like they're way more combat effective. Where this, you actually need to think about it. So that goes back to, if I put 2 people with equal game sense in front of each other, and let's say that game sense isn't super high, I think the Knights would cream the Outriders every time. But I do think that these have the opportunity to cause a lot of trouble. Okay, let's look at these. So Cavalry, exactly the same text, I believe. Each model has 3 wounds, start of unit's activation, make free maneuver action. Boom. Lance, we went through that already, but let's just reiterate. It basically gives them, if they charge, they hit with a lot more dice. Well, percentage-wise compared to what they have. They can basically double their attacks if they're on the last rank. They gain critical blow. That was the one I was talking about, where you gain 2 hits for each 6 rolled, which should be on average 1. If they charge, 1.5 hits extra. If you charge, yeah. So it gives you another half hit on average when you charge, on top of what you get normally. And Sundering is great, but since, I mean, Cavalry, I would say Cavalry should have, well, not should have, but has Sundering by default, in the sense that you always flank. But of course, Sundering stacks with flanking, so it's even better if they have it. And Lannister Supremacy, which is amazing. If the unit is attacked and passes its panic test, the attacker must make a panic test -2 to the roll. which is almost a deterrent. So let's say you're a Stark or whatever unit, and you're attacked by these and something else. Because these have great morale for a Lannister unit, like, would you, and you know they have a 3+ save and 3 wounds, like, would you even dare to go at them? Because you're probably just gonna have to face a Lannister supremacy anyway, so that's added defense. Ugh. Like, these are a problem, even if they... I think Michael would still yell at me for charging these headlong into things, but they are heavy cavalry. And I think it's not their most optimal use, but I think you can get away with charging these into, like, your typical frontline units. I think you can get away with it. Again, not most optimal use of their points, but I think you can do it without having crunched the numbers, just initial reaction. So that's cool. Yeah. I know they're not supposed to match each other or be balanced against each other numerically. They're an asset for the faction, but you'd have to have 7 units of each to get a free 1 extra for Starks. If you had 8 Outrider units versus 7 Knight units, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the 7 Knights are gonna completely obliterate the 8 Outriders every time. That sounds like a fun challenge if I ever find enough units, or we just proxy them. We can test my crackpot theories here. But again, I know they're not supposed to be balanced against each other. I just can't help thinking about this stuff. Anyway, the unboxing was over long ago. I'm gonna call this something like unboxing and rambling, whatever. I'm just excited because these are the only 2 units I have currently, and I might have to wait like several weeks for them to figure out. Well, first of all, respond, and then send, and I don't even dare think about it. I want to play. So, yeah. I'm gonna go prime these guys and start painting. I'm very excited. I might do some painting blogs or stream or something. We'll figure it out. See you guys.